Two guys from two worlds. This is the FlipSide. New episodes uploaded on YouTube every Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Now, your hosts.
Good morning.
Jay&Noel.
Good morning, sir.
What's going on?
Not much, really.
Welcome back to the FlipSide with Jay and Noel. My name is Jay.
My name's Noel.
How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Thank you for asking.
What are you doing? Okay, we just started and you're already preoccupied.
Just looking at the time.
Time or trying to find something to talk about?
No. I started my stopwatch here just to keep me on track.
Right.
Keep me from rambling on. But yeah, no, I've been saving some stuff throughout the week, but nothing like super extraordinary. Like, oh, I gotta talk about this.
Right.
And my dad was asking me about the latest on the Hamas war recently.
Yeah.
And he's like, and so I was telling him like the updates but he was asking because he said, oh, because it's not in the news as much anymore. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But of course he's listening to like radio and television. He's on legacy media, so to speak, right? And he's like, I haven't been hearing it on the radio much recently.
Right.
So I was like, well, if you search for it online, that's a totally different story. So I showed a little bit of like the latest footage to him, and he's like, useless war.
Yeah, pretty much.
Such a useless war.
I mean, it's an never-ending war that's been going on forever between those two countries, and I don't know. I'm trying to bite my tongue in regards to what's going on there, because to be quite honest with you, just don't know much about it. You know, it's hard to take sides about who did what did who, why is it happening. The amount of loss is overpowering everything.
It's really easy to take sides. Choose the one that's not killing women and children and innocent people. Like I don't also know exactly what's going on with the Russia-Ukraine war,
right?
Which is another thing that my dad's complaining about. Is like, I'm not hearing about that much anymore either.
Right.
Russia and Ukraine, like I don't know if they're killing innocent people, but it's just the soldiers that are fighting, right?
Yes, but there are some casualties of wars, you know.
Yeah. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but unlike the other one really was really going after innocent, civilians. On other news, there's also the China, in other news in the South China Sea.
Yeah.
You hear about that one
on its own.
That's another one too. It's like, two boats like facing each other like that. Like, what's up? No, what's up? Waiting for each other to be.
I mean, that's literally a David and Goliath situation, though. Especially with that image with those two boats.
Right. And then one guy has a video camera, posts it up online. And then the other guy also posts like, oh, I got a video camera too. And I'll post your ass also online.
Right.
And then one says, stop harassing us. Stop harassing us. No, you're harassing us. No, you are harassing us.
Right.
So there.
Well, there's actually there's so many things going on right now, especially that involves Filipinos too. I mean, there's all this news of what's going on in the Gaza Strip with all these OFWs. Also, did you hear about what's going on with Myanmar?
No, what's going on with Myanmar?
So basically, there's another OFW that just basically got destroyed. Basically, she was murdered and whatnot. So basically, she's working for this family, and she's an OFW. Okay,
this got nothing to do with any of the wars that we just talked about.
No, it's completely different. But again, it's another OFW that's it involves another OFW, but this one lost her life too. So basically, she's been working for this family for a little bit over a year now, if a little bit short, maybe. I'm not sure. But she works for this man and his family, who happens to have a son son is of age, the son tries to take advantage of the OFW maid or help her, so to speak, to a point where he got really physical with her, ended up strangling her and killing her. And then leaving her in the basement for a couple of days. And then basically the military is making it look like kind of like self-defense, so to speak. Which I don't get, since she's a girl and the guy's pretty big.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't understand what's going on in that one. It's a sad way to start a show. Talking about all these deaths or whatnot.
We got to start somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But there's so many things going on all over the place, you know. Like you said, with the South China Sea and Philippine Navy. You know what though? Looking at that, so I've been reading into that as of late as well. It just doesn't look like it's fair. If those two do end up going into blows, the Philippine Navy and the China Navy, it doesn't seem like it's fair at all. You know? I mean, how is the Philippines going to stand into this?
No, it's just like one of your text messages to me, you know, it's like, it's hard to watch this and I don't know how you can stand it. You know?
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much. Pretty
much the same scenario. You got David and Goliath and you're just sitting there watching,
right?
Hoping that it doesn't blow up, but you know it's about to blow up. And you're like, you're seeing the other person there, you know, David and Goliath, like in front of each other. And you're like, I don't know how you can just sit there and watch.
Can I hold on 1 second here? I just heard something pop around me.
Like a
Say
balloon?
Something? No.
Saying something? Does it smell
something
like
short-circuited?
I
don't know.
Does it smell like something's burning?
No. I must be paranoid. But no, I apologize for interrupting you. What were you saying?
Oh, no, nothing. I was just making a little scene about, you know, watching this disaster happening in front of us, and we're like, I don't know how you're standing it. You're not, how could you like just sit there and watch?
Right.
Like, not in the context of we should do something and fight, but just, you know, the sad situation that it even actually has to happen this way in such a way that, like, you know, one person thinks he's right and, you know, another person and the rest of the world thinks he's right. And the other person can't understand why what they're doing is wrong.
It's actually really scary though, with all these things that's going on right now. I am genuinely afraid of the gravity of things. Because what if all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, you know, all hell breaks loose. And yes, I'm here in the States, but God forbid something actually happens over here. Do you know what I mean? I'm afraid. I'm not afraid for myself. I'm afraid for my family.
You mean your family that are here in the Philippines?
Well, they're in the Philippines and my family here in the States. My wife and kids as well, you know? I mean, we are so close to the proximity of Washington, D.C. that the thought of it scares the crap out of me, to be honest with you. You know, like I wouldn't even know where to begin. Do I need to like do a doomsday prep type of thing?
Can you read that? BS purified drinking water. It's BS, man.
Is that an actual company?
It's a sticker on my water.
Was the seal sealed when you bought it? Was the cap sealed?
That's BS, man. Yeah, I think so. I bought this about 5 days ago. I don't remember where I got this, 7-Eleven or something like that. Yeah,
5 days ago and you still have it?
yeah, refill.
Refill.
Yeah, that's what we got a water dispenser for.
Oh, you have your own water filtration thingamajig at home.
Yeah. I just refilled. I just filled this up again on the for the motorcycle yesterday. But yeah, maybe we could talk about that.
Talk about what?
It's been 6 months, I think, thereabouts, that I've been on the motorcycle to do deliveries.
Yeah, but actually, that's one of my things in the list here. Your bike delivery. I have it here as bike delivery.
And so, Tin and I finally decided to get back on the road again and, earn some cash, like some through deliveries and stuff.
Right.
And, can't help but be on the motorcycle, and my son telling me like, that's such an easy job. Anybody can do that. It's like,
right.
Anybody with like a basic elementary education can do that job. And I'm like,
what got to me from what he said, no offense, okay, but what he said, that it's such a horrible, crappy job. That's what got to me, really.
Well, either he said that or I said it in such a way that it's like, it's not an easy job. It's crappy. It's like, would you rather be doing that or, washing somebody's pee from the floor?
Right.
But anyway, my point was, I was in the middle of traffic and then I was like, it's not easy. You got to do like math. You got to give proper change and you got to be nice to people and that kind of thing. Right. And then long story short, when I got home, I was like, man, my body hurts. I feel like I went to the gym. And I was like, how could I feel so tired? I didn't go to the gym. I was just riding the motorcycle. And then I realized after 20 minutes in bed and not able to sleep, like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
There you go. That's why your forearm's big.
Am I on the motorcycle or am I doing something at the gym?
Right.
Or both.
Right.
Yeah. No, what I was trying to get at is when it's traffic and I try to like sneak in between like vehicles to get ahead, to get in front. That's when I feel most tired, because I'm like maneuvering the motorcycle left and right like this just to squeeze through. Well, and that's my chest and arm workout already.
So how many days consistently have you been doing that this week? Or have you been doing it for the last couple of weeks?
4 hours last night.
That's not bad. That's a long time, dude. How many deliveries?
2.
In 4 hours, 2 deliveries? That's it?
Wait, what time did we start? No, not 4 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. Well, I don't know why I thought about 4 hours, but yeah. No. We started off at 5:30, 6 o'clock. We had a little like late lunch or dinner at the Carinderia.
Right.
And then we got back at 9:30, and then another dinner at the Carinderia after that. So everything that we spent all went to the.
Everything that we made went to the.
went to the Carinderia.
Jesus Christ! So I'm a little curious about this kind of stuff, though. So if I go on YouTube and watch random videos in the Philippines, there's so many delivery guys in their motorcycles, right? Yeah. So obviously it's an in-demand type of thing.
Yeah.
For example, I'm assuming it's mainly food delivery, correct?
No, there's a lot of food delivery, but no, there's a lot of different stuff. Sometimes I see like bicycles on the back of a motorcycle being delivered. There's a lot of goods being delivered.
So it's not just food. It could be random stuff.
Anything and everything. Yeah.
Right. How much, if you don't mind me asking, like how much do you make per, like what's an average make on a delivery? For example, last night you said you had, give me one.
Roughly maybe 100 pesos each. More or less, plus or minus.
And that's what, approximately 30 minutes of work?
Let's put it this way. If it's just around my area, like here in the south, Las Piñas, Parañaque area, or maybe Cavite at the back. Oh, we were in Bacoor yesterday. That's roughly 100, 120 pesos each sort of delivery kind of thing. But if I go to my son's place, all the way to my son's place, it's like 250, 300 pesos, almost thereabouts. So yeah, so it kind of depends on
Why
the
do you make more?
distance.
Why do you make more there?
Because of the distance. It's paying for the distance.
It doesn't matter how far the deliveries are. There's no distance zone or whatever.
Well, you get to choose. You get to choose. There are different companies. There are different companies that have that ruling, and then there are different companies. So for the particular company that I'm on, it's logistics. They're really like specialized in like dropping off anything.
Right.
Less on the food, more on the little tiny goods that can fit on the back of the motorcycle, kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, so it's all over Metro Manila, like everything, like National Capital Region, from I guess
Like,
Valenzuela all the way to Santa
instance.
Rosa, kind of thing. Cavite, Tagaytay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's up to you on what distance you want to take. It's
So it's
hard
by
to say
the
because
distance.
yeah, it's hard to say because of the traffic and the peak hours and that kind of thing.
Right. So,
But opposite of that, there are companies that have just like a sort of a local neighborhood or a district that they operate on,
yeah.
or for
yeah, yeah.
you to operate on, I think, or where you could be assigned to.
Right.
Like, let's say I could live in Boni Serrano, but it's possible that I could be assigned in Pasig or something, or probably not Las Piñas.
But you
yeah,
can't pick the location.
for that particular company, they're different. They each company has their own sort of algorithm or strategy on how they do their own business. But that one, I'm talking specifically for a food delivery company, because if it's food, it needs to be sort of close distance. You don't want to deliver a cake.
What is it
like
called over there? The company
3 hours
Uber
away.
Eats?
No, there's no Uber here. The one that I was just talking about is like Grab Food or Food
Grab
Panda.
or Grub?
I don't think there's
Grub?
Grab. No, this is Grab. GRAB. They started off as like a taxi company, but now they've ventured into pabili and padala and food.
They have those here too. I think there's DoorDash, Uber Eats. There's also Grub, which is GRUB. I think those are the three big ones that are like always vying for each other and whatnot. You know, here though, when you use, I don't know if you remember, I told you I used to do Uber, the drive sharing thing, and then I still do, but I haven't done it in a while. But I'm actually planning to get back into doing Instacart to make extra money.
Yeah, they got something like that going on here too. Some grocery thing. I don't know what it's called.
Correct.
I think it's Picaru or something like that.
Yeah, Picaru, I think. Yeah, I actually saw a couple of those on some videos. With Instacart though, so it's like, for example, a radius that you choose from, right?
Right.
In your location. Yeah. And then it's gonna pop up different jobs, and you can select which ones you want to take.
Right.
It's a freaking science though, doing that delivery thing, because you want to pick something that you got to consider the volume, the amount of items, where it's at, where it's going to be delivered,
And at the end of the day, you got to know the place.
Exactly. Well, that's never hard because the GPS.
Right. No, not even, because it's like, is it more strategic for me to, like, GPS will just tell you how to get there.
Right.
But it's not going to calculate the whole idea of looking for the place, getting stuck in traffic, getting there. Dude, I've only been doing it for a couple of months, relatively speaking. So I don't really have it all nailed in my head yet.
Right.
But basically, yeah, there's GPS, but is it traffic? Is it hard to find the place? Do you know exactly where you're going to go? And what are you bringing there? Can you fit in between the traffic? Or,
right.
I mean, is the item that you have small enough so that you can fit in between the traffic? Or is it too large that you got to pass and think about going around another way, kind of thing? I guess you get better as you keep doing it. But the funny thing about the Parañaque south of Makati kind of area, there's some like nuances about like being able to pass through the village or not. sometimes the map or Waze or Google will tell you to pass through the subdivision, but when you get there, you're like, no, motorcycle deliveries can't pass here. You got to go around and go to the other gate.
Got it. And GPS is not going to tell you that one.
No.
Yeah.
No, but it will, because it's assuming that you got the sticker like everybody else. Because that's another thing. If you have like this sort of Parañaque sticker, you could pass through.
Oh.
So there's a way, I think, to program the GPS to say that you don't have that sticker and you have to go around, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Right.
So yeah, there's
a whole science to it, though. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite impressed with some people. Like, to be honest with you, so I'm doing Instacart, right? I know other people that are making. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I've seen it because online, basically. They make somewhere between $75 to $110 per hour doing Instacart. And I'm like thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? What am I doing wrong? The most I've made in 1 hour is probably $38 doing Instacart.
So once you figured one app out, right, you could start messing around with multiple apps at the same time. So you could be doing Instacart and like Uber Eats at the same time. I don't know if that company allows or whatever, but the whole
they
point
do allow
is
that one. Yeah,
you're making money off of, because at the same, I mean, like, yes, it's legal or illegal or whatever. It just doesn't make sense if I go to, let's say, from here to Boning Serrano, and I could bring another item, right? So they call that like a double booking, which is like too much like math in my head. Just it's like doing MySpace and Facebook at the same time. It's like a little too much to do. But point is, if I'm going to Boning Serrano and I only have like a small item, might as well take another like Uber Eats on the way there or something like that.
Yeah.
And yes, it makes sense to go there, but like, is the location really like close enough, or is it going to take me away from? So that's what I meant about, you need to know sort of the place, because it's not just the going there, but you're working on, let's say, two different maps at the same time. So you're comparing, is location B close to location C to
right?
And you're like, yes, Quezon City, but like, where the hell in Quezon City? Because Quezon City is a big place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
it could be like,
when you do it, though, is it both of you doing it?
Yeah, but I pretty much just let her decide. I just drive.
And then she picks the assignments to take.
And she calls the customers.
So last night you only did 2.
I literally just twist the throttle and try to squeeze us in between and give my ID if they need it. Yeah, we just did 2. It was just like a little warm up just to get our feet wet again. And like I said, after 2 deliveries and roughly about 2 hours of delivering, because it took about like 45 minutes to get there and then another hour to get back or what.
Right.
I felt like I got run over by a truck.
Why? Well,
and I'm
you
like,
know what, though? That's your fault there. I'm not even going to ask why. You were up until 3 a.m. the other day.
Damn it. Is this how 45 feels like?
You can't be doing that anymore, dude. I'm telling you. That shit is going to creep up on you.
It is already creeping up on me. Tell me about it. So,
yeah, I turned 47 a couple of weeks ago. And believe me, I know.
And then last night, one more thing. Last night, the high of doing the delivery thing for like 2 hours. And I was like telling Christine when we were on our way home, I was like, I feel like we're doing something wrong. That you're like that adrenaline that you're doing something.
Right.
I was about to say nasty, but no, it's not nasty. But I just kind of felt guilty that I was earning money on the motorcycle kind of thing. So it was like some kind of adrenaline high.
Well, that doesn't even make sense.
So it took me 2 hours. It took us 2 hours to do the deliveries and another like 6 hours to get down from that high. So I was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was still wide awake.
Yeah.
It was like podcast in about 3 hours. And you know what I was doing? Eating pancit canton at 3 o'clock in the morning because I was still
Jesus
Like-
Christ, dude. I don't know what are you. You know what? When was the last time you got checked up to the doctor?
Oh, let's not go there.
I'm telling you, dude, it's almost done. You need to get your crap in order. Get yourself some proper rest.
What about you? Don't you have anything on your notebook there?
Yeah, well, I wanted to touch back real quick before we move on. I know, good segue, by the way. Way to avoid the comment there. Good job. No, I was saying, you know, when I was doing the Uber, I actually, well, when I was doing Uber and actually the Instacart, the grocery shopping, I actually enjoyed doing both of them. You know, I didn't mind at all. It was tired. The Instacart was a little bit more tiring because you're walking around a lot. You know, looking for items in the grocery store. Then you got to bag everything, and then the Uber driving, I enjoyed the conversations. It was kind of cool, you know, talking to random strangers. I had a lot of pickup from the airport since I live close to Dallas Airport, you know. So there was quite a bit of pickup there. And actually, that in Uber, that's what I made most of my money on, picking up at the airport. Sometimes I would have to drive them all the way to Washington, D.C. At one point, I drove them all the way to Wheaton, Maryland, which is a little bit over an hour from here.
Wow.
Yeah, so you make your money off that way, but it was fun. The conversation from these strangers, and then
I guess it wasn't enough to quit your day job.
No, it's never enough. It got to a point where it's just at that time, I think I was still driving the small car that I had, the Ford Focus. You know, it was perfect because it's a small car that I would get. It would only cost me about $32 to fill it up. And then I would get 400 miles off it. So it was actually good.
Wow.
But I was using that at that time, and that was years and years and years ago. And it was fun, but it was never enough to actually, for somebody to make a full-time job out of it. You really got to work and drive around for 8 hours. You know, and in that turn, that would make my car insurance really, really high doing that full time. And I didn't want to risk that, you know. So I quit that one. I just did.
Which reminds me, I was talking to my tailor the other day. He was doing he does the deliveries that I'm doing also, and he's like 18 hours, dude. Like on the road. It's like Divisoria, Valenzuela, Santa Rosa, everywhere. He goes everywhere.
I don't do it that far though. I mainly do it from my house. I usually go 10-mile radius when I do my Instacart for the groceries. Yeah, but typically I stay 5 to 10 miles, anywhere around that radius. It's okay for me because 10 miles from here could be as 30 minutes away, even though it's not that far, you know. So I would actually venture out that far, but typically I only go that far if I really want to make money. But it got to a point where in one night I made $400 maybe, or $300, because you get tips as well. You know, go ahead.
There's an app here that has like a little timer. I don't know how to work that system. I think they turn off the application when they're on the road or what, some drivers. But there's like an app here where, you know, like if you get there on time, we'll give you a bonus. And then if you don't get there on time, we'll screw with you. So it incentivizes you to drive faster.
Correct.
So I'm like, screw that.
And take more jobs, basically.
I'd rather the customer wait than me like have this, you know, this pressure of having to get there on time.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Not for me to be like in a rush, but that's how people make money off of it. You got to do it fast. Can't be like lazying around eating a nakarinderia every other delivery.
Imagine if you're delivering food and you're just literally taking your time walking around the grocery store. It's not going to work. You know?
That's me.
Yeah. And typically like I said, with this whole grocery thing, less items with multiple orders at the same time in one location.
Right.
Apparently, that's
Exactly.
key.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
the thing. That's the algorithm that you have to run in your head, which is more economical. Like,
and you got
uh,
to make that decision quick. Otherwise, other people will steal that job offer from your phone because it's like when a job pops up on the app, it's free for all.
exactly.
First come, first
Right.
serve.
Exactly. So
Is it like that over there as well?
Sa Tagalog, yeah, agawan. You know, you
Exactly.
gotta
I
have
know.
like ninja swiping moves.
Right. Yeah. But it worked out. But I need to get back into it. Honestly, I was hoping to do it like a
Were you
month
doing it
ago.
like on the weekends or between jobs at night, or
At night,
how'd
in
you
the
squeeze
afternoon,
that in?
a couple of times in the weekend, anything to help really. I need to get back into it because we need the money. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's freaking here. The man, that's a segue that I wanted to talk about too. The inflation here has gotten to be ridiculous. I mean, before, you know how many times have I mentioned going to Walmart, right?
Mm.
Because Walmart to me is a place where, well, they sell everything there and it's cheaper. You know,
Mm.
it's still cheaper now, but that's because everywhere else, including Walmart, increased their prices.
Can I interrupt you about Walmart? We'll get
Yeah,
back to Walmart, but I wanted to ask about San Francisco real quick.
yeah.
This would have been a perfect time to have Anthony on, but is it like, obviously it's inflation all over the place, right? But why is it so concentrated on like these specific cities, San Francisco, where all the violence and all the theft is happening?
San Francisco and some in LA. I don't know, but
Is it the rules and the legislations that they got going on? Because it's inflation everywhere. But why is
yeah.
it like, or why are these places such sort of hot spots?
Well, that has something to do with the law there as well,
Yeah, that's
because
what I meant.
I think I can't remember what law it is or what proposition it is where anything under a certain dollar figure, they're not
Mhm.
going to prosecute or the cops don't stop anymore.
Right. There you go. Free for all. Let's do it.
Right. Needless to say, it has caused, I mean, you've seen these
Yeah,
mob robbings or robbery or whatever in stores,
exactly.
in malls, jewelry stores, cell phone stores. It's insane.
Exactly. And
Nobody,
the legislators, the lawmakers haven't realized, like, oh, maybe we screwed up on that one.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, that they definitely screwed up on that. That's for damn sure. Did you see this one where there's a group of women that walked into a Dick's Sporting Goods store, right?
Yeah. But I'm thinking, none of this stuff that we're talking about now, does that happen like in Texas, for example?
I don't know, but I know it's concentrated in the California area.
Yeah, exactly. But
Even in
not gonna
broad
happen in
daylight, there.
Texas.
Well, let me get to that. But going back to my story real quick, there's this group of girls who walked into not Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm sorry, Macy's
Mm,
in California. They literally ransacked through everything, right?
mm.
Breaking glass cases, stealing these luxury items. I know there's a law to it, but it's obvious that they're stealing more than what the law permits. So why aren't these cops still doing anything? You know?
Maybe they divide the amount uh, amongst everybody else, and that's probably less than $200 or
Well,
whatever the law
still
is.
they'll break a glass. They'll break a glass display. That alone would probably cost hundreds of dollars right there. I
Yeah,
mean,
but if there's
that's
10,
crime.
15 of them all at the same time, it's like, who are you gonna call?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. Let's
But
get back to
nobody's
Walmart.
stopping them. Nobody is stopping them, you know? And then the number of people that are actually like the local citizens, the ones that are being brave enough to stop these people. Oh man, there's this group of guys at Best Buy. I don't know if you saw it online.
Mm.
Literally, the employees noticed what's going on They formed all these Best Buy employees formed like a barrier on the door. And they started tackling. Man, they started tackling all these people. It was awesome to watch because they were like tackling all these. Here we go. They were playing defense. Can I screen share with you?
Yeah, please.
All right.
I was about to ask. Is that something similar to Walmart? What you were talking about?
What's that?
Is the Walmart story that you were bringing up similar to what you're talking about?
Yeah,
now,
I'm talking about the prices and everything for Walmart. But let me screen share this with you. So let me give you a backstory here. So this is Best Buy. There's this group of guys, and then the employees, I guess, notices what's about to happen. Yeah. So these employees play defense around the exit and like start tackling people. It is awesome. It was about time that somebody stepped up. So let me show this to you real quick.
Play it.
This went viral online. So
no, I haven't seen it. Not viral enough to me. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Look at all these employees. Wow.
That's sad. Look at that guy pulling up his pants. Wow. Wow.
That's a girl, by the way.
Jeez. So what's the plan there? Just to keep him inside, right?
Yeah, basically it's just to keep them inside and then or at least drop what they're trying to they can't exactly like forcefully stop these people.
Where was that at? What state was that at? I mean, aren't you scared compared to where you are at in Virginia?
Well, nothing like that has happened here yet, thank God. All right. I think
have the
those were in
potential to happen
California.
there?
What's that?
Does it have the potential to happen there?
There's always a potential for happening somewhere. You know.
Crazy.
But for the most part, in most stores, nobody literally stops them until this video came out where everybody all of a sudden really, you know what? Enough is enough. You know?
Yeah.
There's this one guy in California where he tries to steal something from a Walgreens. Okay. There's one customer guy who said, you know what? Enough is enough. He took a stand and he beat down these three guys and then basically held them down. And the cops are telling him, you're making it harder for the cops to deal with something because you're putting your life at risk. What? What? You know, somebody who's trying to help, you're going to put blame on?
Yeah.
You know, let the cops do their job. That's why they're cops. You know? And then all of a sudden they're not going to, and that's what also these businesses are telling the employees. Don't stop anybody because it's, you know, it could be a liability.
Right. But if you translate what the cop just said, it's like, bro, you're making me look bad. That's probably really what it means.
Pretty much, because I think that's what why they said what they said, because it makes literally that one man basically made an entire police department look like they're cowards or idiots.
He took down 3 people?
I think one got away, but he tried to take down two other people, and then he was able to hold one down. You know, he held one down until the cops came. And then the cops are telling him, you're putting your life in danger. No crap. No shit. Somebody's got to do it. You know? What if all of a sudden these people decide to do it in like a local mom and pop stores? Who's going to defend them? Who's going to stop those guys? The robbery and the break-ins has gotten really, really bad, especially in San Francisco. My wife and I keep watching it and talking about it all the time, where they have it online too on TikTok or YouTube, where in broad daylight, okay, tourists can't even leave their cars parked anywhere, because while they're driving and they as soon as they reach a stoplight, for example, Somebody will just break the window and just take their suitcase
Damn.
in broad daylight in the middle of the road while they're in a stoplight. Literally seconds. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's even more scarier than, I mean, it happens everywhere, really, but you just wouldn't think. And on top of that, in spite of what's happening in downtown San Francisco, the cost of rent is still high. Jesus Christ. Still about $4,000 or $5,000.
I mean, it's my head's all going all over the place, but part of what I'm thinking is that does it make it seem worse because of the fact that we got videos and these videos are going viral? Does it make it seem worse than it really is? I mean, like, let's say back in the 80s,
bad. It's worse.
Let's say back in the 80s when some stock market thing went down also, right? And a lot of prices went up. I mean, is it as bad as it was before, except there was just no video, so that we don't know about it?
Well, no, those are two different contexts, because these are actual crimes that's being done in broad daylight in front of everybody with no equivocation whatsoever.
And this is the first time this has happened this much.
Yeah, pretty much, as far as I know, at least in my lifetime. In California, it's like publicly really bad that way. What?
Yeah.
Maybe it's almost as bad as the LA riots.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they going to stop that? And then on top of that, they still maintain their cost of living to be extraordinarily or really, really high, basically,
Yeah.
I still don't know how some people afford to live where they're living over there. That's why homelessness is such a big issue in California right now.
I remember getting into a fight with verbal argument, not like a physical altercation, but it could have.
Yeah.
With a taxi driver about him like trying to raise his prices, and I was like, that's not fair. Keep the meter on, that kind of thing. And I remember him telling me, "Bakit ikaw magpapakain ng pamilya ko? Are you gonna feed my family?" No. So shut the fuck up.
He said that? So you ended up paying the whole thing?
No. I just ended up not taking the ride with him. It's like here in the Philippines, back before all these apps were up, these ride sharing apps were on.
Yeah.
Taxi drivers were notorious for, how much are you going to pay before you get in the cab? They'll tell you how much you're going to pay. Or sometimes it's highway robbery. You're already on the road, meters running, and he realizes in the middle of the road that it's going to be unfair for him. So he's going to tell you that he's going to charge you, let's say 100 pesos on top of what you're paying for.
Yeah. There was a whole debacle on that online in the Philippines in YouTube. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Which one?
Will Dasovich's sister, Haley.
I saw that.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, exactly.
That was kind of ballsy as hell, though.
Exactly. So I had the same conversation, but outside of the cab before I got in the cab.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate for her because that happened to me also in a different scenario. I got in the cab and then the guy was trying to harass me or trying to haggle with me while I was on the middle of the road. And of course he had to time it like in the freeway where I can't get off.
You can't get out.
Yeah. So
what did you do with that one? Did you end up having to pay it or what?
No, I said like on the next stoplight, I'm going to get off.
Oh, Jesus.
I got out. I don't remember if I paid anything getting out of that cab. No, I don't think we paid. Yeah, I just got out.
That's just ridiculous. I mean, that's why they have meters too, though. It's supposed to.
Right. Yeah. So that's your whole argument. That's why they got meters. And then his argument was, why? Are you going to feed my family?
Right.
No, I didn't think so. So
that's not your
like. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah. Going back to what I was saying earlier, now, so I used to do we still do most of our grocery shopping on Walmart, but I kid you not when I say the amount that we have to spend now is almost double.
Wait, you were saying that Walmart did or did not raise prices?
They did. Everybody did. Everybody,
Okay.
I mean, Walmart, I think it's still one of the lowest in the area as opposed to some grocery stores or Target for that matter. But
what is it about Walmart particularly that you wanted to bring that up?
just the cost of inflation.
Mm.
Yeah, the cost of money, the cost of living it's just gotten to be pretty really high. Binuwi mo yung dating my $150 grocery budget before. I can't even fit that now. Now it's like almost double that. For groceries alone.
Yeah, well, here 1,000 pesos. Tin was just telling me yesterday she'd be able to cook like 2 or 3 meals for 1,000, right? Now it's like 1,000 is like one meal.
Jesus.
For everybody here in the house.
Yeah.
So it's 2 or 3 times the price. I mean, if you want to eat 3 times a day, then you gotta multiply that by 2 or 3.
That's even when you're cooking it at home, just buying it from the groceries and all that stuff, or the market.
Not even grocery. That's just a talipapa.
Wow.
Like gulay alone will cost you like half of that already.
Really?
That's not even, your proteins, your meat.
But isn't that what's usually more expensive, the proteins and the meat?
Yeah, exactly. But even what I'm saying is even the vegetables is eating up half of the price already.
Right.
Wala pang dessert yun. Wala pang, there's no fruits. That's just vegetables. That's no fruits included on that grocery list.
That brings up the next thing I want to talk about. It actually relates to it very, 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 very well. It's connected. So the other day, I told you to look into this vlog, the Millennial Legends.
Right.
Yeah. So they had an episode where
you're so funny that you're such a fan of these, Americans or Westerners living in the Philippines or Asia.
Right.
But mostly Philippines. It's like another vlog from Jay, another recommendation from Jason.
Well, it works out very well for me. These guys are, it's hard to, you know what? A big reason why is because I'm partially jealous. I have to admit.
We're living vicariously through the YouTube videos that we're watching. Look at me. I'm looking at motorcycle vlogs like touring Europe or going across the US.
Well, it's me. Is that what you're doing really? You do that?
Well, that's what I was, living vicariously through.
Right. Well, I'm living vicariously through these guys who are able to do what they're doing in the Philippines. Now, I think his name is Dagan and his girlfriend's name or fiance's name is Alyssa. So these guys are from Florida, from the US, one hailing from Florida, and I think one hailing in Portland, maybe. I'm not sure. But
I didn't catch that. Okay.
They sold everything. Basically, one time they just sat there and like, hey, you know what? We're just living our lives, always looking to meet the line where it's enough is enough to pay for everything and whatever, So basically they sold everything. And when they say everything, they meant everything. You know what I mean? And took the money that they had and moved to the Philippines. Literally just packed everything up and just moved there with no immediate plans whatsoever of like where they're going to live, what area, what they're going to do. And they actually decide to start a YouTube channel. It's called the Millennial Legends.
Where in the Philippines did they decide to settle in again?
Bohol, I believe. Bohol. Yeah, so they're in Bohol. They've made that their hub basically. And it's funny how these guys. He's a chef, and I'm not quite sure what she does. I don't even think they've actually made it clear. But
I think she was either a teacher or an accountant, something like that.
something like that. But they had an episode maybe a month ago or maybe 3 weeks ago. I can't remember. 2 weeks ago maybe. And they broke down their expenses on a monthly basis and how they do it, what money where the money comes from. So they're able to monetize YouTube where they're getting in about between $500 and $600 a month. Okay.
Already? That's fast. They only started like their channel beginning of this year, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. But they built a following and whatnot, you know. Let's just say they take home about $550 just for conversations easier. Make it $55 chance. That's about roughly 30,000 pesos a month and whatnot.
Wow.
So apparently it's definitely not a lot, you know, and they're living off that in the Philippines.
That's more than enough, especially Bohol, man.
Well, it's enough. There's a little bit some left over. It allows them to do what they need to do, you know, like travel extra here and there. But their rent, their groceries, their food for the week, or for the month, including their Wi-Fi, their extensions for their visa that they have to do every month, whatever, for both of them. Everything really. It's almost about they're left with like $1,000 or $2,000, whatever, or pesos, you know. But it's enough for both.
Are you making plans now?
Man, that's not enough for a family. I mean, I got kids. You kidding me?
All right, forgot about that.
Yeah, if you have kids, maybe you need to double that to be able to, on a monthly basis, to be able to sustain everything.
No, probably like per kid, $600 per child.
That's a bit too much. I mean, I don't know how much schools cost there and whatnot, but
what I was trying to get at was, you know, this podcast thing is probably not going to work out. We might as well start a vlog.
Right, exactly, right. Who knows? Jesus Christ. But I think it's if these guys are able to do it, I'm sure most people can. But you know what I'm going all over the place here. So the way they're just able to just pack up everything and just move to the country that they're pretty much not familiar with that much, you know. It sounds so easy to do, but obviously if you're single or if you don't have kids, maybe you don't have to be single, but you know, like these guys are a couple, obviously, but they don't have kids, so it makes it easier.
Right. But what are you talking about exactly? YouTube?
Yeah, like these guys, you know, they're able to make a living off what they're doing, and because of a country where it's easy to build support, if you're able to find that specific niche, people can definitely do it over there. And there's so many vloggers and whatnot in the Philippines. It's insane. You know, but one thing I did notice, it's mainly either if they do have kids, the kids are extremely young still, that it's not doesn't make that much of a difference. But for a family that has older kids, man, I don't even see any of them there unless they're actually from there and they do it there, you know?
Yeah. You know, I totally agree with you, but at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm also thinking like, man, YouTube's such a monster.
It is.
I mean, it's such a, I mean, I'm not talking the app or the algorithm, but the getting your foot in the door kind of thing. Like, yes, you could easily get your foot in the door with just your cell phone and uploading videos, but the whole idea, the whole branding thing, like putting everything together, like you really gotta put your mind to it.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like these two, like Dagan and his fiance, it looks like they're really concentrating on it and it's what they're doing. But what I really, by the way, I'm putting together some information to send to them tomorrow, and hopefully we're trying to get them online to interview them, because I want to ask them, like, What made them do it? Is it just really chasing the freedom of life and enjoying life and just leaving the stress behind, or
Daddy's a millionaire.
a- or dad is a millionaire, or a lot of people are just saying as well, it's an easy way out to deal with stress, to deal with the hardship of life.
Well, I think the whole idea of their channel being called Millennial Legends, I mean, gives you a clue,
Right.
because there's this whole idea that it can be done. And I'm sure, sitting at the back on their desk, they're probably thinking, if it can be done, then what am I doing sitting
can't
around
we?
here not trying it? Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I heard something similar, like the hub for something like that right now really is like Bali, if I'm not mistaken. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Because of the speed of the internet and what's that, confidence in the electricity and that kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, technically that's where people mostly go, but if they're more comfortable with people speaking English, then they go to the Philippines.
That's true. I think that's why these two are ended up in the Philippines too. It's because they speak English. It's just easier to adapt, basically. Yeah.
So
Pero
that's one
nakakatakot
less.
din talaga, no? Talagang, even if I was, for example, if it's just me and my wife, do I
Yeah.
have the balls?
Yun nga eh. The key is, if you're that's what I was trying to say, that if you're a millennial, you're gonna have but if you're not a millennial and you have family and kids.
No, I'm saying,
That's-
like, what if AC and I don't have kids, for example? I don't know. It's still going to be a tough decision, let alone having to give up the frugality of life, the basic needs and necessity that we do. You know what I mean? That's the hard part there. I don't know.
Yeah, yun nga. Once you're settled in, it's hard to get up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Life is like a lazy boy. Once you're settled in, it's hard to get up.
A lazy
you
boy,
got, like-
really? That's what you're going to equate it to?
Plus, you got Mission Impossible ready to, to play, ready to stream.
Mm-hmm.
You just click on with your finger which one you want to watch. Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, 4,
They
5,
don't
6,
have
7.
Amazon in the Philippines. Is that something that I can live with? I don't know.
Just choose. Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys have Hulu there?
Yeah, but I don't know how limited it is. But for sure, I can speak for Netflix. We got Netflix here, but it's not the same.
No.
You got to get a VPN if you want to get like from what the US has.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Amazon has a streaming service too. They have their own streaming service. It's like a Netflix, but it's all Amazon Prime Video. That's what it's called.
Ian, and a lot of, and I know this because that's what people that sell VPNs online like. Okay, before we move on to that part of the vlog, let's talk about our sponsor today.
Right.
You ever go to a different country and then you can't seem to access your movies? That's because the IP address knows that you're in a different country. So for you to be able to access your account from another country so that you get the same streaming movies available in your country, get yourself a VPN. And log on to this website now with my name on it so you can get a 10% discount on your first year purchase, annual fee thing. So there, I'm brainwashed. Now I want to get a VPN just because of what these guys were saying. But yeah, so there's Netflix here and all these other streaming services, but they can you don't necessarily get the same thing.
Right. It's
I don't even know if we're paying the same prices. So if we should just.
What about Apple TV? Do you guys have Apple TV over there?
There's Apple TV, but again, we don't know if we have the same movies available that you have Apple TV available there. You see what I mean? So the application or the device is available,
right?
But are we actually getting the same thing?
Oh.
Like, is this like Mission Impossible? It's not available. Well, I don't know if people are figuring out other ways to do it, but
there's so many people torrenting videos and movies over there, though. It's ridiculous.
Not anymore.
Really?
Not anymore. I mean, before, like the DVD black market videos were, booming,
Right.
but now nobody sells DVDs anymore. And what's the word? Yeah, like these streaming services have figured it out that
Right.
they could juggle these movies or whatever that they got streaming going on, that it they put themselves at advantage if they don't put everything available.
Right. That's
Mission
true.
Impossible, to be specific.
Right. Well,
and Barbie. See? No.
have you seen Barbie? I still haven't seen it.
No. And I still haven't seen Mission Impossible. I'm telling you, I'm missing out, man.
Well, my wife bought Barbie the other day, but I haven't seen it yet. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, to be honest with you. I don't know. Maybe I will. My son watched it the same day my wife did, and he said it was really good. So I might just watch it. I don't know.
Ryan Gosling, right?
Yeah. And Margot Robbie, I think is her name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Margot, yeah.
Okay. Well, last thing here, really quick. Let's do a lightning round. So yesterday, I saw on TikTok, how it shows the 90s and then today type of thing. So there's this one I saw, basically in the 90s with the instant messenger and how LOL started in our generation. We started LOL, remember? Before chatting used to be AOL. I don't even remember. AOL Instant Messenger.
Right.
And then we started using LOL, laugh out loud.
Right.
Since then, there's been so many that I don't even know what it means sometimes.
Right.
So I wanted to give a couple of common text abbreviations to you and see if you know what it means.
Educate me.
Educate you, okay?
But before we get there, can I just get back to the millennial legends real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just 2 seconds.
Okay.
Kinilaw. They have a vlog on eating kinilaw the other day.
Really?
There's not so much. I mean, I'm a fan of Filipino food, I guess, because it's like right in front of me.
Right.
But for me, the one that's like, if some people might be going crazy over like a Starbucks coffee or escargot or whatever, for me, it's like every time a restaurant offers kinilaw, I'm like,
kinilaw is the fish version, right? Kilawin is the meat version.
Right. But they're not all good. There's some way some chefs actually screw it up. They're not all kinilaw or not all kilawin is good. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I'm just trying to get at is this is always available like in the Visayas region, in the Bicol, Cebu region.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much here in Manila, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that for me, it's so good that I wish that it was more available and like had more versions of it all over the place.
Which one did they do? Was it tuna, salmon, what?
Which one are you talking about?
The one that you saw on Millennials.
Oh, I don't remember if it was tuna or salmon, whatever it was. But so the bottom line lang of kinilaw is that this raw salad is cooking, if the cooking is the word, in vinegar.
Yeah, vinegar and lemon, I believe. Yeah.
Yun. Wala lang. I just think that it's such a genius meal and I love it.
The first time I had it was my AC's aunt made it and it was just amazing, honestly.
And somebody told me one time like, "Oh, it's like sushi." It's like,
no, it's not. Get out of here.
No, it's not.
Kinilaw like sushi? Shut the hell up.
Yun nga. So, basta first time I tried
that? Jesus.
Well, because I was asking what it was, and they were trying to explain that it's raw fish and that kind of thing. But no, totally not. Totally different.
Right.
So, just good memories with whenever I see, hear, or talk about kinilaw or kilawin or.
But my only experience with kinilaw is when AC's aunt made it. That's the only time I've ever had it, really. So I have nothing to compare it to, but it was good. It was definitely good. And I think she made tuna, I believe. Yeah. So, anywho, okay. So, a couple of things here. So, like I said, I'm gonna throw out some common text message abbreviations, and let's just see if you're up to date with your lingo. Okay.
Go for
Okay.
it.
First one, obviously. Well, it started with us. It's the LOL. That means laughing out loud, right?
You know what I miss? ROTF.
What's ROTF?
Rolling on the floor. Remember where they used to have that little tiny emoji like rolling on the floor?
Yeah. This is actually the same. The first one on the list is ROFL. It says rolling on the floor laughing.
Oh, maybe that's what I meant. One of those.
What about
ROFL.
STFU?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
TMI.
Too much information?
Wow. How about LMK?
No idea.
Let me know.
What about TLDR?
Oh, too long. Didn't read.
Didn't read? No.
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Too long, don't read.
Oh, well, that's okay. TLDR. That's what it says here. It's number 3 here. NVM.
Never mind.
That's right. That's right. I'm sure you know what BYOB is.
Bring your own baon.
No. It's bring your own beer.
Oh, that's what it is here.
Is it really bring
BYOB.
your own baon?
Yeah.
Okay, what about BOGO?
No idea.
Buy one, get one.
Oh, my favorite one is AF.
As if.
No, AF?
What does it mean? AF.
Like you're bald AF.
Oh. Bald ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. JW.
No idea.
Just wondering.
Oh.
And then here, I did not know this until about a month ago. TBH.
To be honest,
Yes, exactly.
I learned SMH from you.
Shaking my head.
Yeah.
They have shaking my head. SMHROTL. Or
What's that?
TF. ROTF. Shaking my head, rolling on the floor. It's ridiculous, man.
What
How
else?
about
What else?
FUBAR?
Fubar?
Yeah, FUBAR. FUBAR.
No idea.
Fucked up beyond all recognition. I mean, who uses that on a text message? Really? RN?
RN, registered nurse.
Right now.
Oh, okay.
BRB.
Be right back.
Yeah, that's right. Wow, it's pretty good, man. BTW.
BRB is as old as LOL, right?
Yeah, BRB is as old as LOL.
B, by the way?
Correct. Yes. And then
Okay.
IRL.
Oh, my favorite. In real life.
That's right. I didn't know that until God knows how long ago.
I was thinking I should
I
put
thought
my,
at first it meant interracial.
I was thinking of naming one of my, if naming like my YouTube channel as Noel IRL. Noel in real life.
There you go. Hey, why not? That sounds good.
No, I thought about that because there's a psychology channel that's named like that, Psych IRL.
Yeah.
So they try to talk about, psychology concepts and
Yeah.
give examples IRL.
What got to me was I had to Google this. There was a couple of instances I was text messaging with my kids, and we were planning something, and then at the end of their text they said HMU.
HMU.
They'll say it's okay. No, not it's okay. They'll say okay, HMU. Like,
well, here,
what the heck does HMU mean? What does it mean there?
We get HM here a lot for
What's HM?
how much? How much?
HMU is hit me up.
Okay.
Hit me up. Like, get in touch with me type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then WYD.
WYD.
Yeah,
No idea.
like what are you doing?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, IDC.
I don't care.
That's right. IDGAF.
IDG.
AF.
Uh.
I don't give a, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then FOMO, obviously FOMO.
Well, yeah, that's old too.
Yeah,
Fear
that's
of
old.
missing out.
That's like from like our time, you know.
YOLO.
YOLO. Yeah, you only live once. Anywho, I think that's it for today.
That's it.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's a
I'm
long.
still trying to get. Speaking of AF, man, there's a SF. I'm actually still getting used to San Francisco being called SF.
Why, as opposed to what?
I'm just used to it being SFO. Now it's SF.
SFO is the airport code, you ding dong.
Why you have to call me Ding Dong again? No, but like
Nobody says SFO. SFO is the airport code.
do people call SF all the time before?
No, nobody says SF. They just say either San Fran or Frisco. Nobody says SF. Oh, we're going to SF. No. They say, oh, we're going to Frisco. I've never heard anybody say SF in an actual sentence, even when I was living there.
Where did
Nobody
I see
says
that
downtown
recently?
SF. I've heard people say downtown Frisco or San Fran. I've never heard somebody use SF in a sentence. Unless you're
Okay,
going
so
to
then
an
maybe
airport.
it's not. Right. So maybe it's not. Okay, so SFO is specifically for the airport.
San Francisco International
Oh.
Airport, SFO.
No, I think I saw SF like on the news blurb, like underneath where SF something something. Like, were you? Was it you that shared that with me? Like Nordstrom and all these Macy's, like all are closed in SF.
Yeah. Yeah. In San Francisco.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
where I
but they
saw it.
didn't say San Francisco. They didn't mention it. All stores are closed in SF. That's just like an annotation or a notification at the bottom of the screen, probably. Right?
Right.
No? Nothing?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let it go.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I know it's kind of a little bit all over the place as always, but a little bit extra today. Anyway, hope you guys haven't enjoyed the show. Listen, like, follow, subscribe, share it with people, yada yada yada. Yes. Anything else?
Right. I was thinking of a millennial term to say like and subscribe, but I don't know how it goes. I'm not going to make it up as we go along.
Yeah. Anywho, all right, guys. Again, this is the Flip Side with Jay&Noel. My name is Jay.
Name's Noel, TLDR.
What the hell? We'll catch you guys later.
On the flip side, AF.
AF, you know, ROL.
LOL.
Okay, whatever.
LOLs.
You can catch the full episodes on youtube.com at The Flip Side with Jay&Noel. Full episodes uploaded every Wednesdays and Saturdays.